Live, and we are now live streaming. So welcome to today's session. This is all about how to use ChatGPT to grow your business. I'm going to be sharing with you over 20 ways that you can use artificial intelligence to help you be more productive, get insanely productive, create and do and finish and complete tasks that are going to help you grow your business in absolute speed time. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some of the tips, tricks, warnings, bewares, things that you need to know about using artificial intelligence as well. Because as with everything, there are pros, there are cons, and there are things that you need to know before you start using it. So hello, my name is Sarah Cordiner. For those of you who haven't met me, I am a qualified teacher trainer, education consultant, and specialize in e-learning, ed tech, and also am the CEO of a technology company known as Techmatics. It's an all-in-one CRM, online business, and course creation platform that combines together well over 20 of the tools that you're probably paying lots of money for in monthly subscriptions. You can go and check out a free trial on that now. But today we're going to be going through what to do in your business to use emerging technologies to help you shine. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you today because I do have some notes up, and the slides that I'm going to be sharing with you today are actually going to be available in the recording I'm going to do my entire screen. Let's just do whatever window we're on. Chrome tab, that is going to be available inside the recording. So if you have actually managed to register for this event and register for the recording, there is a login portal where that recording will be uploaded, and it will come with all of the slides that include the prompts that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So let me pull this screen share over. It's going to look a little bit crazy for a second. Let me pop my other screen on over here. So what we're going to do today is to walk you through these different strategies that you can use. And I'm actually going to be using a real example of helping my mum, who's just retired as a police dog trainer and detention officer, set up her own business. So we're going to be doing some really cool tips and tricks here for my mum, and you're going to be able to learn from some of these things today. So hello, I've said my name is Sarah. Nice to meet you. That's enough about me. Also, as well as having Techmatics, I also run the Edupreneur Academy, which walks you through growing your business in lots of different ways, creating courses, lead magnets, email marketing, creating books, becoming a speaker, running podcasts, blogging, you name it. There's a course or a training on that inside the Edupreneur Academy. So do go and check that out if you want to grow your business. But today we're talking about how AI is the new normal. And anyone who's been on the internet for the last 2 months will probably have heard of ChatGPT and AI and how it's really starting to take the everyday world by storm. But it's not actually that new. A lot of people have probably already been using AI for a long time, but just didn't really realize it. We have basically hit what's tipping point where now this information is more mainstream. The knowledge of this is more mainstream. And it's pretty funny because I've been seeing lately a lot of people going, oh, this is just a fad. You know, everyone's talking about this right now. Oh, they'll have something else to talk about next month. And really, I don't believe that at all. There have been sharings of news article clippings like the one that you see here that suggests that this is not a fad at all. Remember 1993, my friends, when the internet was there, it kind of existed, but we weren't using it on a mass mainstream level yet. And there were all these people going, the internet's just a fad. People are giving up on it. People are getting bored of everyone talking about this internet thing, and it's never going to go anywhere. It's just a craze. Well, I think we all know how that went. Back then, there were loads of discussions about, is the internet going to take people's jobs? Are robots and cyberspace taking over? And these articles actually go on to say how cyberspace is a con and it's not going to change the way we do anything. Well, clearly our lives have changed forever since 1993 when the majority of the world started taking up the internet as mainstream. It is here to stay. Is it going to take people's jobs? Possibly. We don't know that yet. Is it going to change people's jobs? It already is. And so what we need to kind of see ChatGPT, AI. ChatGPT is just one single AI tool. And if you guys start following me on my social media channels, I'm going to be sharing a lot of other tools with you over the coming weeks that you can be using in AI. So do make sure you're following my socials. But basically, what this is doing already is providing us with tools and vehicles to help us in our lives and in our work. This isn't just a tool for business owners, it's a tool for everyone. And it is rapidly growing in its functionality and its ability. And, I think we need to pay close attention to how this is changing people's jobs every single day, because I think we're going to be required to become more knowledgeable about how to drive these vehicles. And that's what I'm going to be showing you today, how to actually drive this vehicle. How does it work? What do you stick in it for you to get what kind of stuff out of it? So we basically are looking at a tool today, ChatGPT, which is an artificially intelligent powered tool that generates responses based on the prompts that you put in. It's a text-based outputter, and it's all about the questions you ask it and the prompts that you put in it that depend on what kind of results that you get out of it. And I'll be showing you today what those prompts are. And the coolest thing about this is that ChatGPT basically has a memory of its thread, of its chat that you enter in. So you can teach it about yourself, about your business, about what you do, about questions that people ask about your business. Everything you put into this system, it can remember for you. So you can continue to ask it questions and it will become smarter and smarter and smarter around being able to answer those questions. You're going to see today how that is going to enable you to do lots of crazy stuff that would have taken you years to train a person to do, that now you can do like that for free without any training or holidays for these staff members. All right, so let's go in and have a look straight away at some of the things you can do using ChatGPT AI. Now, if any of you here are running a business or plan to run a business, you must have marketing. If you're not marketing, you're not going to be selling anything at all. If you want to sell, you need to be marketing preferably daily to your audience, especially now as the online world is getting busier. So you can use ChatGPT to create social media content for you, including the ideas, including the actual video ideas, and even the exact copy, content, or scripts that you would use for that social media post or those social media videos. Amazing. So let me show you a little example here of how we could do this. Now, inside ChatGPT, which is free, and it, by the way, does have a paid version, which allows you more in-depth responses. That works out at about $17 a month, and I'm telling you now, is well worth it. So inside ChatGPT, your screen will look a little bit like the one that you see here. And up at the top, you have something called the choice of the model you want to use of ChatGPT. Now, the legacy is the oldest version. ChatGPT 4 currently, here in May, is the newest version. New versions are being developed on all of the time. And I do reckon that when we moved up to the next version of ChatGPT 4, we are going to see some massively different advancements. ChatGPT can already start to crawl current events, current web pages. It's already here, guys. So it's this, I'm seeing comments across the internet that a week in AI world is like a year in normal life. So it's going so quickly in terms of how this stuff is growing in speed. So the first thing we do want to do with ChatGPT, if we're working on creating stuff for our business here, is teach it a little bit about our business first. So I have prepared something earlier. What you're going to want to put in here is, I have a business that does this. It has been running since this time, a little bit about you. Here's what it does for people. Here are my target audience. Here's who I want to work with. And ultimately, what I want to sell them is X products or X services. So first, you've got to introduce yourself to your robot here, right? So I have made a little example here. My mum's new business is going to be called The Woof Inn. It's a dog boarding business. So I've created a little bit of information here about what her business is about, who it's for, and what they plan to deliver to what kind of audience in their business. So I'm just going to copy this and paste this straight in. So it's going to read it, and then it's going to either copy what I've just put or tell you that it's understood what you've said. So you can see here, it's I think it's going to reword this. Okay, so this is actually rewording this straight away. So I've put in some just random bullet point information and it's slightly reworded this for us. And what it's doing by repeating this back is it is confirming that it's understood, and it's just now embedding this into its thread memory right here. So from here, oh, you don't hear anything yet? You still don't hear anything? Do we have sound? I'm just seeing some comments that there's no sound on this. Can anyone just confirm in the comments that you can hear me, or do a thumbs up or something? Yes, you can hear us. Okay, cool. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Mikkel, I hope that, yeah, cool. A lot of people saying they can hear. Thank you for that confirmation. So here, now what it's done is it's now taken the information about our business. So it's really important to put this in first. And you can keep adding to this information as you go, and it will keep adding to its memory. So what we want to do now is we want to ask it to help us out with some social media content for my mum's dog boarding business. So what we've got now is I've now created a new post here, a new prompt, and I'm saying something to it like, I want to create social media content that will show that I'm knowledgeable and professional in, and then insert your information. I also want to show that I am, and you might want to put some of your personal characteristics. Maybe you want to show that you're professional. Maybe that you want to show that you're fun. Maybe you want to show that you're very casual. So you can put in here the kind of personality style of you. This is called persona matching. And by telling the system more about who you are, the more you enter in, it learns how you write and how you speak. It actually learns how to replicate you. I know about you, but I've always said this thing in my business, I wish I could clone myself. Guys, we're now here. We are now at a point where we can clone ourselves. And I don't just mean by text. We now have platforms like Descript that you put your voice into a few times and it can read text in your own voice. You truly now can clone yourself. There are also video AI generation tools that will take your face and some of videos of you speaking. You can then give it some text and it will make a video of you speaking that text even though you're not there. And I will be, over the next few weeks, showing you demos of some of these tools across all my social media platforms. So do make sure you're following there. I'm also then saying to it, I want to create social media content that answers common dog care questions. So put in here that answers common questions about your topic, so that people know that we know that what we're doing. With all of the information above, so remember we're telling the system, look at everything you already know about a business. With all the information you have above, suggest 30x tips, so 30 tips about your topic that I could share and write them as short social media posts with emojis and add a call to action at the end to check in at the woof-in. Right? So this is the prompt that I'm going to give this. Now, by the way, I will just share on this screen here for you. You can begin this process by simply saying, list 30 common questions that your target audience ask about your topic. That's one thing that you can ask it. So the other thing you do is use the list above to create 30 social media reel ideas. These are some prompts that you can use. So I'm going to give it a much longer prompt here. Hit enter. And now let's see what this, oh, hang on, stop generating. I forgot to copy and paste it. Let's press copy first of all. Here we go. So I've just popped in the prompt for the social media content I want to keep. And here are the tips now being auto-generated. Check that out. How cool is this? So it's giving us our daily social media doggy care tips, and it's even added in those emojis that I asked for. And it's even remembered to add in our call to action. So don't forget to check in at the woof-in. So there we go. This is now giving us, we asked for 30. This is now an entire month worth of social media posts pre-created. Now, just because we want AI to continue to make our life easier, you can then use a social media posting and scheduling tool to make sure these posts go out across your social media channels. And so inside platforms like Techmatics, you can go into your marketing section, go up into your social media planner, and you can press add a new post, create a new post. And from here, choose your social media channels that you want that content to be posted to. It can go out to Facebook pages, Facebook groups, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you name it. We've got all of the platforms connected here. You then paste your content inside this box here, and you can even pre-schedule the first comment. And down below, you can even choose what date by scheduling your post you want that post to go out across your social media channels, and it will send that tip that you've just had created in ChatGPT across to all of those social media platforms for you without you having to even be present. How cool is this? Game changer, life changer. This stuff, guys, really is changing the way we work. So anyone who's sitting there going, this isn't going to change anything, this isn't going to change people's jobs, it already is. It already is, okay? So next, if you now wanted to create some of those tips that it's come up with for you to use the social media content, you can even now ask it to create a script for you if you wanted to do some of those as videos. So I could now go back in here and say something like, I want to do the following 3 tips as a video. Make a script of 30 seconds for a reel. And I'm going to then just pick 3 of them, copy, and then paste. Bam, let's go. And now it's going to give me the video script with even the time counter and oftentimes even scenes that we could use inside this video here. So it's not doing it great here. It's putting all 3 tips in the same video. So I'm going to press stop generating and say rewrite each of these tips on their own, or one at a time, for instance. Tip 1. Okay, now it's given us the full tip here. So I'm going to press stop generating for now. I'm going to say make this a 30-second reel script. So you can pull out bits one by one. There we go. So now it's separating out this particular tip on its own so that I could speak this out in 30 seconds for a video. Now, of course, it's still putting the emojis in it. We can actually go back now and say, do that again, but remove the emojis. Do that again, but with, certain words that you've added or used. Boom, we've now got video scripts. So of course, all we have to do now is enter each of those 30 tips it's given us and ask it to create a 30-second video script. Boom, there's 30 videos for you right away. Now, there are video tools that you can now go and enter this text into, and somebody else's fake AI generated head will actually go and write and speak out this tip for you on video. I will be sharing some of those in the next coming weeks, but let's imagine you're going to now go and use this yourself. So what's next in terms of what we can do? Let's just go back to our screen here. You can also write an entire book. What? Using ChatGPT. Yes. So let's say we want my mum to look like the most amazing dog holidaying boarding professional in the whole of the UK. We might suggest that she puts a book together or everything she's learned in her 30 years of being a police dog trainer into a book so that she can really generate that trust with her audience that she is an expert. Now, there's some buts here. I know I'm going to have all of the Mr. Skepticals coming in going, you can't publish a book with AI. Well, first of all, yes, you can. This is open AI. This means it's open source content and therefore can actually at the moment be used commercially. Always check with your lawyer. I am not one of those. However, creating content that's purely AI generated would just be rubbish. And the reason I say rubbish, not because the content that comes out is rubbish, is because it is purely bot generated, plain generic content that will not show your passion, your voice, your unique way of explaining things. It doesn't have your expertise, your experience, your case studies, your stories, what you've learned in your life in it. So there's going to be a couple of things that you will need to do with what comes out of the AI generation here to ensure that both you're legal, you don't have plagiarized content because other people had the same generated reports, and also to make sure that it truly does show your expertise and your voice so that you can connect human to human. The reader, of course, is a human. So there's a couple of things that I want to share with you before I show you how to do this. Now, the first thing is, when we get this content that comes out, you must remember that in order for this to be as effective as possible for you, you are going to need to only use this as structure. Use this almost as, like, I like to call it the naked Christmas tree. Your job is to come along afterwards and decorate it with your unique stuff that you've been collecting, for generations of Christmases, to make it truly your own completely unique Christmas tree that expresses who you are by adding on all of your special baubles in the way that you like it, right? So you need to really make sure that you are just using that structure and you are rewriting and rebuilding around the outside of it so that you do have that uniqueness to it. Also, to make sure that you don't come up as flagged with plagiarized content, even though this is open source content. If other people have been getting the same generated responses from the system, platforms like Google are going to see competing identical content, and someone's is going to get taken down, right? It's going to be shadow banned. It's going to be pulled down the search rankings. Also, platforms like Amazon, if you are uploading to Kindle, if you are uploading to Amazon, these platforms actually go through a copyright or plagiarism scan before they're allowed to be published on the platform. So if someone else has already published similar content to what you're using out of an AI generator, again, you might risk getting your Amazon account shut down. And that's really pants if you're an author, right? And truly, you're not an author if you're not adding your natural flair to it. So there's a couple of things that you can do here. The first thing is, once you've got your AI generation out of it, you may want to paste that content into what's called an AI plagiarism detector. So I can actually now go to the results, for instance, that I have had created here from this thing here. Let me grab whatever it spat out for me. Let's grab some content here as an example. We can go into a tool like contentdetector.ai. So those of you wanting to know what this one is, contentdetector.ai. It's free. Of course, they all have paid plans too. But I can paste in this content that has been spat out by the AI generator, press analyze, and it's now going to basically scan the internet and detect whether it's artificial. Now, this says that 25% of this roughly is appearing to be AI generated content. And that would be about right, because I had AI help me. I then tweaked it to be my wording. So obviously, if you've got AI generated content coming up, I'd say 35% or above, you're going to have to do some major editing on this content. Now, let's say that this was a chapter of a book, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a second. The next tool that you can use to help you edit and humanize your content even more and make sure you are changing it up so that you're not going to get hit by AI detectors or plagiarism tools is to use a paraphrasing or rewording AI tool like Quillbot.com. Quillbot, Quillbot, Quillbot.com. This paraphrases content for you. So let's pretend this text I'm popping in here again is a chapter of a book that ChatGPT has written for me. I can paste this into Quillbot. Again, has a free version, also has a paid version. Again, this is not letting me do all of this because I'm on the free plan right now. Press paraphrase, and it's going to automatically rephrase what I've put in a different wording, so that again, it's going to help you see whether or not it's, it might come out of the AI detection generators, and is going to help you. Sorry, I'm just checking questions. It's going to help you make sure, again, you're doing this all in a way that's not going to affect the way that your work shows up online. All right, so let's go to our prompts page for writing a book. Now, again, remember, please make sure that if you've registered for this webinar, you will get the recording where all of these slides and prompts will be downloadable for you. So with a nonfiction book, ideally, what you're going to be doing over time is using the same thread that your business is learning about you in, because the more you pop into this, the more it's learning about your business, the more it's hearing your voice. So what we're going to now say to the system, if we have already put in this basic information, we're going to be obviously saying, this is what I'm an expert in. I want to help these particular people. So I make it a bit bigger for you. I want to help these particular people get this particular result in their life, in their business, in their relationship, in their health, whatever it is that you're an expert in. And then you're going to say, I want to write a book but you're going to tell it what kind of book. So in this little gap here, you're going to write, is it going to be practical? Is it informative? Is it going to be funny? Is it going to be inspirational? Is it going to be emotional? So you're going to want to put in what kind of book for my target audience that will help them get X result. I want them to have, I want the book to have a something tone. Do you want it to be a professional tone, a caring tone, a casual tone, a serious tone, a funny tone, right? Give me 10 suggested titles and subtitles for my book. So let's go and pop this in first of all. So I'm just going to say into here, I want to write a book about caring for your dog using my experience as a police dog, puppy, trainer and carer. Okay. I want it to be practical, helpful, casual, easy to understand for the everyday dog owner. Okay, and then I'm going to say, suggest 10 titles for this book that includes the words, includes a play on the words, the woof in. Boom, let's go. So it will now start generating some titles. The Woofing Guide. Positively practical dog care from a police puppy trainer. Boom! Barking up the right tree. The Woofing's Guide to loving and caring for your dog. From paw to woofing, police puppy trainer's guide to everyday dog hair. Tales from the woofing. How good is this? Boom! Right? 3 years ago, I would have had to have paid a copywriter probably close to $5,000 for that. I'm sorry, jobs are changing. Now, are we still going to need professional copywriters? Damn straight we are, because a lot of the stuff that we're creating is still going to need to be edited, humanized, and made completely unique by professional writers, right? So you guys aren't going out of business. We're just changing how we work, right? So here we go. Let's pretend I want to use, I don't know, I'm just going to use a pretend example here, okay? So I'm just going to pick one of them and go, I like this title, right? So you're going to tell it which one you want. Boom. And it's going to go, that's a great idea. And I'm like, well, thanks. It was yours. Now that it's given us the title and we know what we're going with here, if I go back to my notes, the next thing we're going to do is ask it to give us the outline of chapters and subchapters for this book. So let's go in here. Now give me an outline of chapters and subchapters for this book. How good is this, right? This is a game changer. This is an absolute game changer. Now, I've published 16 books in my lifetime, all of them years before AI came along. I did sit there and graft hour after hour after hour of pouring it from my head through my fingers onto the keyboard. But honestly, that took me months and months and months to write some of those books. This is speeding up the process. It's helping create a structure that then I can take my human mind and knowledge to and make this process faster. Okay, so we're not talking about creating AI-generated guff here. We're talking about using this vehicle, this tool, to help make the process easier. Now, you may go to a book coach. Of course, book coaches are still going to be needed. People are still going to prefer to sit down and brainstorm with a book coach. But this here, using this AI, is basically the equivalent of sitting down with a book coach to help you come up with ideas. A book coach could, would never sit and write everything for you. A ghostwriter could, but again, still needs to ask lots of questions and understand things. So now, boom, we have an entire book chapter outline that my mum could use to show her expertise as a police puppy dog carer that is going to help her grow her woofing business, right? So what I could do now is I could grab chapter 1, copy this and say, write this chapter in, and then I could put in X thousand words. Now, roughly speaking, ChatGPT does just conk out at about 3,000 words at the moment. And then you have to prompt it to continue. So I would at the moment just do these as short chapters just to get the structure there, because again, you're going to be rewriting this stuff anyway. So write this chapter in 1,000 words or something like that, right? So I'm going to paste that in, hit enter, and off it's going to go. Make yourself a cup of tea, pour a little cocktail, and voila, you have yourself the draft structure for a chapter. So what I would be doing at this point with the book is I would actually go and create and open a Google Doc, paste this over so that I've got the structure to then turn off the internet and go in and rewrite, add in my stories, add in my expertise, add in the way that I speak. What's going to happen here, guys, this is not going to come out the way that you speak. So if you are out there as a coach, consultant, business owner, expert of some kind, it is going to be extremely obvious if there is an incongruence between the way that you speak and present every day compared to what's in the book. Please don't cheat with this because it's only you that's going to look like a dumbass, right? It's really important that you do go in and rewrite this and add in all of the different elements that are going to work in your voice, from your expertise, from your positioning, right? And of course, don't, and then just get your stuff hidden by the internet, right? It's up to you, but I'm all about the true creative process of an expert is to just smother this structure with the essence of your unique voice. So there we go. We've got ourselves a 1,000-word chapter of a book created like that. Copy paste that whole process. You have yourself an entire structure to then go and build around. Whoop, whoop, loves it. How sexy is this stuff? Make sure you do a thumbs up or a like here. Is this helpful? Give us a thumbs up or a like if you're enjoying this. Don't forget to press share. Share this on your social media page too, because you ain't seen nothing yet, right? That's just 4 of the 20 things I'm going to be showing you today. So the next thing is you might like to create an online course, a workshop, a webinar, a coaching program, even a membership around your area of expertise. And of course, ChatGPT can help you. So my mum here, this could be another business stream that she could add on to her business, is she could do puppy dog training, right? She could run a puppy school. So let's just pretend that's what she wants to do. I'm going to say, let me take you back to the actual prompt, sorry. If we're going to say, I am an expert in the following kind of field. I help the X type of people to get X kind of results. And I want to create an online course or a coaching program or a membership or a workshop, right? Insert whatever it is there for my target audience that's going to help them get X result. Suggest 10 titles for this course, workshop, or program. Okay, so we're going to start there. I am going to grab, oopsie, I don't want all that. Just want to grab the text. I'm going to tell that, I don't need to grab all of that, do I? I want to create an online course. So let's do this. I want to create an online course. Let's do an online course for dog owners. So for dog owners, that will help them to, I don't know, train their dog. I don't know. Not a dog expert myself, right? Here is what we're going to do. It's going to now just go, okay, I think I understand. Oh, it's given us some, right, okay. I didn't even need to prompt it. It's already gone and given me an outline. So that was going to be the next prompt. That's how good this thing is. So now it's given me my module titles and my lesson titles. Boom. Again, guys, as a qualified career designer, this is stuff I went to university for 15 years, for 5 years to learn. I spent 15 years honing in this industry. People paid me thousands of dollars to help them write course outlines. And am I scared by this? No, it's changed my job. I'm not losing my job because people still then book one-on-one calls with me as an expert in my field and say, Sarah, can you go through my course outline? Does it meet the principles of adult learning? What's the best way to deliver this? What's the best platform to use, right? My expertise is still required, despite the fact that basically my job of writing outlines is now gone. I'm now, helping people learn how to use this software to create faster products, and then they come to me for other advice and guidance and checking that what the system has created for them is the best setup for human learning. So boom, we now have a course outline. How good is that? Now we can take this to the next level. For instance, here is a lesson. So in module 4, we have a lesson about the importance of early socialization. We can now say, well, what on earth am I going to teach in that lesson? So I could say, now write the content for this lesson. paste that in, paste in the title of the lesson, and we now have the content. If any of you guys are not writing books, writing blog posts, writing social media content, creating courses, what is your excuse? There isn't one now. The biggest excuse for people not creating their courses used to be, I don't have time, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to say. Well, look, right? You've got to now. People are loving this. Good. I'm just checking the comments where that's writing. Having a sip of water, right? So now we've got the content. This could go on a PDF document for your students to download. Preferably, you would present this as a video, highest form of engagement in course content. And of course, it could be I've already said downloads, right? I'm repeating myself. Move on, Sarah. Next way that you can use ChatGPT for your business is to write blog posts. How good is this? Blog posts are one of the most underrated methods of marketing. People are so focused at the moment on the vanity metrics of getting love hearts and likes on their social media content that they are completely forgetting the fact that when somebody goes to Google, the two things that come up in the search results are videos and blog posts. And almost all of the results are blog posts. So anyone who's not blogging, you better start, because you are missing out on like the number one way to get people to find you. That's all I'm saying, you're cray. So on blogging platforms that are amazing, like Techmatics, if I do say so myself, we have a blogging section underneath sites and courses. And this allows you to create search engine optimized blogs in your own domain. So this will be your own www.something.com. You simply press add a new blog post. You can put in the title of your blog. It's going to ask me to upload a picture. I bet it's not going to let me work now because I'm going to have to upload all of this. Da-da-da. Why is it not letting me do that? Is it because I'm testing? Cover image. Okay, it's just being slow. I'm going way too fast for my machine right now. Let's upload a video, upload a cover image. Let's just pretend that's the cover image just so that we have one. Blah, 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 post description. So I'm just putting in gobbledygook for the sake of the demonstration here. So you're going to put in your title of your blog, upload a thumbnail of your blog, which you can do using AI in Canva. And then you have your blog editing area. Now on Techmatics, on the top right-hand side of your screen here, you will see that we have a button called Content AI. You will actually tell the system what kind of blog post you want to create, what kind of content you want it to create, how to care for your dog, right? And brief description, how to care for dogs. Right, and then you can add in keywords. You can choose the tone you want. Do you want this to be funny, casual, excited, professional, grumpy, respectful, persuasive? Let's do something funny. And then you can, I've got to give it a keyword, dogs. All right, done. Then we can press generate. And the keywords are what ensures that what's generated is search engine optimized. That basically means people are going to be able to find it when they're searching for this on the internet. Now that will now generate for us a blog outline directly inside your Techmatics system. And up here on the top right-hand side, you press continue and your blog is published. What? We can also do this, of course, though, in ChatGPT. So let's go back here. And we're going to say to the system, obviously, if you haven't yet already, this is who I am. This is what I'm an expert in. I want to create blog content for the following audience that will help them be able to X. And then please write a blog post for me of X number of thousands of words that has a call to action to buy my product, buy my service, buy my thing, whatever it is. All right, so here is the prompt for that. And again, this will be downloadable in the So we're going to say, write a blog post. So I'm going to say to it, first of all, with everything you have learned above, write a 500-word blog post about caring for your dog when you go on holiday. All right, I don't know, boom. So it's now going to give us a suggested title. What? And then it's going to write the whole blog post for us. So again, just like we did with all other content, I would be making sure that we're using paraphrases first, and that then we are going to do plagiarism checking to see AI, content plagiarism checking to check how much the internet thinks this is AI generated content. And of course, most importantly, that we're going to go in and reword what this pulls out for us in our own unique voice, in our own unique style, with our own unique viewpoints thrown in, so that we are creating truly unique content that Google is going to power up to the top search result rankings for us, getting us in lots and lots of customers over time. Okay, so the next thing we can do with ChatGPT, because this just keeps getting better, my friends, is you can write sales copy for your landing pages, for your websites, to basically write that salesy stuff that none of us like to do for your products, for your services, to get more buyers. So I've got the prompts here for you. Again, we're going to tell it more about our business. Then we want to tell it about the product or the service that we're trying to sell. And we're going to also tell it the tone, what kind of audience are going to be viewing this, what are the results they're going to get from it. And now please, can you create a sales page for my audience? So I'm going to go back in here and say, with everything you have learned above, write the copy, the sales copy for the Woof-In website. Boom, let's do it for the Woof-In website. And let's see. Welcome to the Woof-In, a home away from home for your furry friend. All right, boom. This now is literally writing our sales copy for us. This is insane. It's going to change your life. It's going to make things so much easier. It gives you that starting point from which to work with. So I'm going to let it do that. And we're going to move on to other ways that you can use AI. Now, just like you can write blogs and sales copy, you can now write sales emails as well. So if you have got an email list, if you haven't yet, why not? Please make sure you go and grab my free lead magnet launcher challenge and learn how to grow your email list. You can grab that by clicking on any of my social media profiles. There's a link to my free stuff, and there's a course on there that shows you how to get your email marketing off the ground. Now, if you have an email list, you need to be staying in contact with them regularly. And it's really important that you're sending information and helpful tips regularly so that you're seen as the knowledgeable expert in your field. This is what over time convinces people to buy from you instead of from somebody else. So I'm going to say to my system again here, write an email that I can send to my list of dog owners to tell them about the Woof-In and some tips to make their dog happy this week. I know. With a call to action to, and then tell them what you want the call to action to be. With a call to action to check in at the Woof-In. All right, so that's our call to action. And boom, it's now going to give us the subject line for the email, and it's going to give us the whole email content as well. Say what? Love it. All right, let's move on to the next one. There's our email. Now, here is another amazing one that is quite a game changer. Writing awards applications and grant and funding applications. What? Now, in just the same way that we've put very basic information into the system here, you can also go in and teach this lots more detail about your business. So I've gone in, for instance, and I've taught this, how I got into my business, why I started my company, my numbers and statistics, how much money we earn, our growth percentages, how many users and subscribers we have, how many students we have. I've gone in and taught it all this stuff by just entering all of these facts down and given it every piece of information about my business, my customer service processes, how we get customers, our marketing. Everything I do, I've popped into here. Now, yes, it's a lot of work at the beginning because you have to put all of this info into the system. And if you don't know what info to put in, simply go and open up any kind of grant that your business could apply for or any award that your business could apply for and start seeing what kind of questions it's asking. answer it in here first so that it starts learning about you to begin with. Once you have got that information in the system, let's pretend you're applying for an award and it says, list the reason why you think this business might be award worthy. You can say to the system, with everything you've learned above, or everything you've learned in this thread, please answer this award application. So for example, let's do it with my my doggy walking business here, is I could say something like, we are going to apply for a startup award. Okay, so I'm just going to tell it and it's going to be like, great, applying for awards is brilliant for your business. What a great opportunity. Okay, so it's now going to even suggest some steps that I could take to begin the process of applying for and being successful in awards, or again, if I put grants, what I could do there. How good is this? So now, once I'm going to press stop generating, I could say the first question of the award application for Startup Business of the Year is, why is the roof in unique, and why does it deserve award? Why does it deserve an award? Answer this for me with everything you have learned above. Enter. And now it's going to help us answer that question. Now, when you're applying for awards and grant applications, a lot of the time you're going to be restricted by the number of characters that you can use. So I normally let this go in first, then I reword it into my language and the way I speak and put it back into the system with my language. The reason why is because it will then do this persona replication. It will begin to learn the way that you answered that question for next time, and for all of the future kind of answers that it's going to give. So you can see here how now this has given me a structure, and a very, very long one at that, to go and apply for an award. I would restructure it and boom, we're good. So I could even go in here again and say, reword this in 150 words. That might be the character limit for this particular application. So it's going to reword that in 150 words. No more spending hours trying to get that word counter to the right number. What? Game changer! And so what you need to be doing over here on the left-hand side of your screen, you will see all the previous chats that you've used. By clicking on the pencil icon, you can name that chat thread. So you might have one here called, X Business Awards. So we could now go in and every time we do that kind of work, we are inputting our answers in here so that it keeps remembering and doing persona replication more and more and more over time. So that's another really clever way you can use this. Awards, grants, the more you pop in, the more obviously it learns about your business, making sure, of course, that everything is factually accurate and that it's all really legit information that's going in and coming out. Now, in the same way that it can learn about your business, it can also learn about how your business works, and therefore you can use ChatGPT to generate responses to customer inquiries, whether those inquiries are coming in through Facebook, through your emails, whether they're coming in, in comments on social media platforms. You can go in to your system and start teaching your system how to reply to particular customer inquiries. Now, one of the things that I do in my business, I have a sheet where I have listed down every question I have ever been asked about my business. Which one of your products and services is best for me? How can you help me create an online course? How do I do X? How much is your thingy, right? All these questions that constantly come through. Go and look at your inbox and your social media inbox and list down all the questions you get asked and generate a rough template reply to that answer. You can even drop in links to content that you have that adds to that answer. You can pop in links to your YouTube videos, blog posts, any content that you've created externally. And what the system will do here is ChatGPT will start remembering how you reply to questions. So now we've done this, for example, in our business. My staff can come to this thread, literally copy and paste the email that we've received from a customer and get it to answer the email. No more training staff. No more having people write the wrong replies. No more spending hours and hours and hours replying to the same thing over and over again. This allows you to create these template responses and even individually reply to people in a snap. Okay, so I could even pop in here something like, here's an email from a prospective client, and I could just paste it in, and it might be like, I want to board my dog there, but she is old and blind and sick and has special food requirements. I'm scared that she will be scared that she will be, I don't know, not good. So I was just going to really great English there. So there's an email. Let's pretend that that was an exact copy and paste of the email we had from a customer. Wow. Dear customer's name. This is going to personalize this email reply. It's going to help us sell our services. It's going to make us look amazing. And again, of course, we might edit it a little bit, but this is a really great way. Now, this works really well for support as well. So for instance, I run Techmatics. We constantly have questions like, how do I use X feature? How to use Y feature? We've actually plugged into ChatGPT the most common questions we have about everyday features. So now, again, if that question comes through by email, we can drop it in here and it gives us the response to that customer inquiry, making it accurate, providing links, because we've given it links as well, and makes the process of our staff being able to get through support queries way faster, reducing the customer wait time in those responses as well. Game changer. Now here's the next one. This is one that I played with recently and it is blow my mind. It's called create a growth plan for your business. So for example, I had a plan in the next 60 days to get 1,000 more subscribers in my business. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, with everything you've learned about my business above, give me a growth plan to get 1,000 more subscribers in my business. And you will not believe what came up. So let's do an example here, okay? I want to get three dog boarding clients within the next 6 weeks. Write me a daily growth plan of marketing activities and actions to help me get 3 more new dog boarding clients. Okay, boom. Now it will give us a daily list of activities that we can now go and implement to help us reach our business goal. What? So if you're running courses, you're going to put something like, I want to get 10 new students in my membership by next month. If you are running a SaaS software like me, I want to get 50 new SaaS software clients by next week, right? Give me a growth plan daily of what I can do. You have no excuses anymore. For those of us veterans that have been in business for 15 plus years, where all of this had to be done the hard way and paying tens of thousands of dollars to scumbag goo-poos who delivered nothing, this is an absolute game changer. This puts the responsibility fully on you, of course, but isn't that amazing when we know we have this power and control to get information? Now, obviously what comes out of here might not be the best information, which is why you're still going to need goo-poos like me to sit down with you from experience and say, this bit's really good. However, knowing where you are at in your business, what you're doing, who you're working with, and having been in this field for 15 years, you may like to actually take out number 7 and swap it for this instead, right? But it's going to give you a pretty good action plan to work around. So how good is this? This is going to really help me get my mum's doggy business off the ground. Boom, loves it. What's next? Improve your website copy. So my website copy, even though this is what I'm really good at doing for other people, I'm absolutely turd at doing for myself. So what you can do is go to your website. So here, for instance, is my Edupreneur Academy, which, by the way, is absolutely amazing. If you want to grow your business, this is going to life change you. So I can just grab all the copy, for instance, from this website. I can then go in to ChatGPT, paste it in and say, please improve this website copy with everything you've learned above. Please improve my website copy for this product. or for this homepage or for this contact us page. Paste it in and it's going to reword it for you. This is a really fast way to epically revamp your website, give it a new freshen up and a new lease of life. How cool is that? Are you loving it? Do you want more? Make sure you give us a like, give it a share. Goopoo, it is a new word, Helen. I've been using it for a while. I obviously am part of that too. Happy to be a goopoo. All right, now more ways to use AI. You can create podcast ideas, content show notes, and summaries. So again, you can you can just type in the same thing. Give me 30 ideas for a podcast. So if I was doing this for my little doggy over here, give me 3 ideas for podcast shows for the Woof Inn. All right. Boom, it's going to chuck those in there as well. I can also, again, like I did with creating a course, then say for this particular episode, give me a script to work with, or give me, like 5 key things to cover in this particular episode. I can even say to the system, give me historical case studies or stories about dogs, all right? And that can give us actual case studies, reference information. Always check that it's correct. All right, these robots are scraping information from the internet, which isn't always correct and accurate, as we all know. You can design webinars using this platform. So again, you can go into the system here and say, just like you did with the course, I want to create a webinar on the following topic. Please create my slide notes for a topic in this, for a webinar in this topic, and it will give us the outline. Now, the next one I love is creating procedures and processes for your staff, for your VAs, whatever you're using in your business, even for yourself. So for instance, we might have to say here, we might have to get our, we might have a process. So let's say outline the, organizational process and administrative process that we would need to follow when onboarding a new dog for its stay, right? Including any agreements or waivers that my customer may need to sign. List the steps we should follow to deliver a great service. Right, so we can just pop this in. Oh my God, did none of that right? It didn't, did it? Someone was going, it's not writing. Okay, so list the process for a customer, or that a customer will go through. That a customer will go through from onboarding to completion of the service to help us create an internal procedure. Procedure, including waivers or agreements, etc. I don't know. Boom. So here we go. It's now going to help us come up with a process. Now let's pretend you have a, one of your virtual assistant's tasks is to write and publish blog posts. You can say, give me a list of instructions of how to write and publish a blog post. Right, and it's going to give you the instructions for that. So here we go. This is going to tell us now that what happens when we have the initial inquiry, what happens when we gather the first bit of information. So it's even saying to us, we're going to need to know about the dog's age, breed, medical history, special requirements. So I would then go into Techmatics, for instance, and create an onboarding form that asks that information, introduce them to the services and the pricing. They might want to do a pre-boarding visit to check out the house. They might have to then sign a waiver or an agreement. Do you need to collect vaccination and health records, emergency information? What happens at check-in? Do we want to give regular updates and send doggy selfies to the doggy parents when they're all on holiday? What happens on checkout? Do we do a post follow-up and ask them when the next holiday is? And would puppy like to come back and stay next time? So there's all this sort of process that can help us now deliver a better customer service and help really take our business to the next professional level. Now, just to take it to the next level here, for example, I could now say to them, write me a customer agreement that a client sign when they drop off their dog. Boom. So this could now give us the outline the woof-in dog boarding customer agreement. It even puts in the gaps and the references. Now, what we can go back and do as well is once this is written out, we can then go back and say, rewrite this according to, now my mum lives in the UK, I'm here in Australia, and my mum's in the UK, so I'd say, please rewrite this in accordance with UK laws, legislation, and regulations. Boom, it would then go in and insert any of those relevant references here. Again, always make sure that once this is done, you do check with a lawyer, get a grown up to have a look at these things, right? Never depend on AI for anything legal, but certainly use it to help inform you about what you need to do, questions you need to ask yourself, like what do we want our cancellation or refund policies to do? What are we going to say if a dog hurts itself? Blah, 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 right? So this is going to really help us get this basic stuff sorted in our businesses. This is literally like having an advisor in our pockets to help us go in informed to these conversations we may need to have with professionals. So cool, that's done. And we can create any kinds of instructions. Obviously, the sky's the absolute limit. You can take anything from those results and get it to expand further. Boom, here's some more ways. Who is loving this? Yes, Peter's saying I should use dictation instead of typing. And I actually do really, really like this from the ChatGPT app on your phone. So the cool thing about using the app on your phone is that it does actually have a voice chat button. So you can go into here and voice type what your questions are. Ding. Okay, so you can also fast track your learning. And boy, do I have another AI tool to share with you this week. Make sure you're following my socials, guys. There is a platform now in AI that is an absolute game changer for learning, but we're going to leave that for another time. This is cool. So I can, for instance, use this ChatGPT to fast track learning. I bought a new book the other day. It was the Life Force book by Tony Robbins. And it's a fat book, right? It's a really, really big book. So I couldn't wait to understand what the new learning was from it. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, provide me with a summary of the key learning points from Tony Robbins' book, Life Force. It gave me the key learning outcomes from that book, summarized in seconds. I was like, awesome, great. Of course, I would learn a heck of a lot more when I actually go and finish reading the book, right? But it's given me the overview of the main things from it. Amazing. You can do that with anything. You can take blog posts, copy and paste them and say, summarize this for me in 10 bullet points. Boom. You're fast tracking your own learning. Absolutely incredible. You could take a white paper, copy and paste whole sections of that research and say, please summarize this particular piece of research in an easy to understand way in a couple of sentences. Boom. If you're just looking to kind of get key information that you can reference, obviously, always make sure you're referencing stuff, my friends. You do not want to get any legal trouble. It's just going to help you inform your knowledge, yourself, your work, whatever it is that you're doing this research or learning for. You can write speeches and keynote presentations. So again, the prompt for that would be something like, I am an expert in, I'm going to speak at a entrepreneurs conference about, and I want to be seen as an expert in, and I want the call to action to be, write me a script that's funny and hilarious, just like I am, and present me a 30-minute speech. Boom. Now, again, due to the number of words that the system can pump out at a time, you might like to ask for the speech structure first, like we did with the course outline and like we did with the book chapters earlier, and then get it to write that speech for you in pieces based on the initial outline that it provides for you. Can you put a link to give you a review, or do you have to paste the content in? So Helen, I think, do you mean that to leave for people to leave a review for your business? Is that what you mean? I'm not sure there. Create copy and scripts for paid ads. Now, this one I really, really love. So here I'm going to say I am going to run Facebook ads in my local region for the woof in, taking everything that you know above, write my ad copy for Facebook ads and include emojis. Oh yeah, no more expensive ad copy, guys. Sorry, ad copy, guys. I know you're still important, but this just makes me excited. I just used to procrastinate about getting in touch with you guys, and I never knew which one to pick. This just helps me, right? I'm a fast, get stuff done kind of girl. This gets me good. Can you give a link to a YouTube? Sorry. Okay, so Helen said, can you give it a link to a YouTube video and ask it to give you a summary? Not at the moment, Helen. However, that's coming, and there is another tool that absolutely can, and it's going to blow your brains out. I will share that with you in a second. Here's my Facebook ad, complete with emojis. Let's go, right? That's good. We're loving it, and we are getting there. And finally, drum roll, please. We can get it to create meal plans and fitness plans. We can even get it to give us recipes of just the stuff we have in our cupboard. So as an example, I'm going to go to ChatGPT 4 because it's the best one. I want to lose weight. Give me a meal plan for, I know, 1,000 calories a day that avoids white bread and, I don't know, pickles. Like, you can just say whatever you want. I'm making this up as I go along, right? So you can now, it's going to say, you've got to make sure that you speak to a nutritionist, of course, right? Let's all be responsible here. But here we go. Breakfast, however many calories. Here's exactly what you need to eat. What? This is your whole meal plan, right? So I got it to do this for me a couple of times. It's actually come up with some really cool meal plans, because I'm one of those stupid people sometimes that forgets to write my shopping list, and I end up in the supermarket just staring at shelves, not knowing what I'm even doing there. Right, I'm going to press stop generating. The other thing you can do, and I actually did this because I had no car. It had been borrowed. But anyway, what I did was typed in, I have, for instance, rice, some frozen sausages, and an onion. I also have some spices and a brown banana. Give me some recipe ideas, right? I don't know if you'd want to come to my house for dinner, but you know, oh, you've reached your limit. I've reached my limit cap, okay? Use default model. Let's go. Okay, so it's giving me a sausage and onion fried rice with banana. That's interesting. All right, so it is now, and I could say, I don't like the sound of that. Give me another idea. Okay, bam, off we go. Okay, so you can literally solve that problem of there's nothing in the cupboard. Tell ChatGPT what you have in the cupboard, and he will solve all your problems for you. You're welcome. Create customer workflows, onboarding forms and agreements. We've already done that demo over there. Now, the other thing is using it for just kind of everyday advice. It's really funny to kind of say this, but I have actually begun using ChatGPT instead of Google. So now when I see something or I think of something, I saw someone post about a water spout the other day, and I was like, what's a water spout? Like, what is a water spout? I asked, how does it come about? And boom, it just, instead of going through all these different Google results, it just gave me the answer I needed right here. I was like, oh, no, what a spout is now, right? So this is a really clever way. I also see a lot of people go into Facebook groups and say, hey guys, what should I do about X? And boom, this can do it for you. So, you know, give me, like, let's say I have a toddler, and give me 5 ways that I can get my 3-year-old to go to sleep quicker at night. Give him whiskey, right? So here, I'm joking. I don't give my kids whiskey. Thought about it a few times though. So here is again some suggestions. This is just everyday advice, everyday information. Of course, always check with a grown-up, always speak to lawyers, always speak to smart people, human beings who know what they're doing. However, that, my friends, is how you can change your business, grow your business, make your life so much easier by using platforms, AI like ChatGPT. This is going to completely change your life. Please make sure you're following my socials because I'm going to be sharing a number of different AI tools. This is just one of thousands. This is just one of thousands of AI tools that you can be using. So as you can see here, guys, it's already changing the way we work. It's already changing the way that we live, and it absolutely is here to stay. Now, I was talking earlier about how we have new tools coming out that has way more intelligence than ChatGPT. One of them is called Auto GPT. There's another one called Baby AGI. And these are tools that use coding, but can think for themselves and prompt themselves. So instead of having the human popping in these prompts that I've been showing you today, they can actually, you can give it one single question, like go and, I don't know, build a website that's niched for fishing. And it will go and research phishing. It will then research how to build a website. It will then code itself to build that website. It will then research how to fix any bugs that it comes up, and it will teach itself how to learn something. It will teach itself how to implement that learning, and it will then remember what it learned going forward and continue to re-prompt itself to generate a whole number of different responses. It is absolute game changer. It already exists. It is already here. It is already being used by people. I may do another training on that another day, but this is where I'm coming at from, guys, that the way that we live, the way that we work, this is like back in the early 90s when the internet came along. We are so fortunate to be in this phase, this stage of revolution. And I think that we need to embrace it with excitement. It is scary, it is nerve-wracking, but the internet didn't destroy us. It's changed us, certainly. This is certainly something that we can choose to use and embrace as a tool, as a vehicle to enhance the human experience, to enhance our human creativity, to enhance and build upon the uniqueness that we all individually are, albeit being able to do this with essentially a business coach, a consultant, an advisor in our pockets. If you do have any more questions, please do pop those down in the chats or comments. If you would like the link to the recording of this so that you can download these slides with the prompts, please comment me and I will make sure that you've got the link to go in and register to get the access to this recording, which will have all of these prompt slides downloaded on it. And as you can see from the screen here, if you do want to grow your business, do come along and check out the Entrepreneur Academy or Techmatics for a free trial. Please, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one of your favorite takeaways from this? Which one are you definitely going to be going and taking away and trying? Which one have you loved the most? Also, would you like more AI training like this? If you would, I'm more than happy to put it on if there's enough demand. So please let me know if you'd like to see more of it. Otherwise, I would just like to say thank you all so much for coming along today. It's been fantastic having so many of you here. I threw this up very quickly and we've had over 700 registrations. So I'm really excited to see that everyone out there is just as excited as me about AI and the potential that it has to help us change the world, help us change people's lives for the better, including, of course, our own. I'll see you guys on another training. Stay in touch. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. If you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends. Otherwise, I'll see you again next time. Happy check-in. Bye. See ya.